very best westerns were indeed remakes of classic Japanese samurai films, most notably Yojimbo being remade into A Fistful of Dollars and Seven Samurai into The Magnificent Seven. Here we actually get the reverse. Sang-il Lee takes the award-winning Clint Eastwood classic western, Unforgiven, and remakes it with a Japanese setting with samurai. Sounds like what us samurai fans have always wanted, right? Well, that's some pretty big shoes to fill, and Unforgiven is regarded as one of the greatest, if not the greatest western of all time. It had a cast of top actors like the legendary Clint Eastwood, who also directed and produced it.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man.
There was also Gene Hackman, who played an unforgettable villain.
But after that, it comes out of your own pocket. You hear me, Skinny?
It also featured incredible cinematography of Wyoming, and it had one of the greatest and most unforgettable finales ever. It's basically everything you want in a western.
You don't have to worry, kid. I ain't gonna kill you. You're the only friend I got.
Sang-il Lee's film takes place in 1869, the second year of the Meiji era on Hokkaido, which is Japan's northernmost island. Hokkaido really was an excellent choice to film a western. Its frontier looks just like the American West, yet it adds a different level of mystique, and it has a very unusual look. Part of the appeal of this film is just viewing this beautiful land, and it definitely made me want to visit it, and I hope more movies get filmed here. The cinematography is really well done, and immediately you could tell this is a well-made film and has a nice budget. I recommend streaming this in the highest quality you could find. There's so many great shots of beautiful wide-angle landscapes of plains, forests, mountains, and it looks incredible. When I looked up reviews for this film, a lot of people were comparing it to Clint Eastwood's film, claiming it was a shot-for-shot remake with Japanese people. So I watched both films back to back, and I could say that the basic premise of the story is the same, and yes, some scenes are pretty similar, but besides that, the two films are actually pretty different. They are both separated by the culture in which they take place, and America and Japan in the 1800s were two very different places. One notable difference in the Japanese remake is a subplot involving an indigenous tribe of people on Hokkaido, known as the Ainu. And I really enjoyed this aspect of the film, and I found it interesting because I never heard of them before. The characters in both films were different, but they served the same purpose. And I did find the characters in the remake less interesting than the original. Also, if you're gonna compare villains, the original is superior. Gene Hackman is just an excellent actor.
He's got one barrel left.
He was so unpredictable, and one minute he's likable, while the next he's just terrifying. He's just a great villain.
Take out your pistols and shoot him down like the mangy scoundrel he is.
In the remake, the villain is just a straight-up psychopath. He does have some charisma, but most of the time you just hate him. The actor, though, is still no doubt great at what he did, and I'll say he fulfilled the role as a villain because you hate him, and a villain should be hated. Ken Watanabe is an excellent actor in all that he does. He's no doubt one of Japan's greatest actors, and I'm really glad they picked him for this film. But even he can't compete with the power of Clint Eastwood. I don't normally like Hollywood films or Hollywood actors, but Clint Eastwood is on a different level. He's just so natural in his roles and brings this excitement to every scene he's in.
You just shot an unarmed man.
Well, he should have harmed himself.
But this isn't to say, though, that Ken Watanabe also didn't do an excellent job in this role. You really do buy into his character, and you feel the emotion that he lets out. Just like in the original, the pacing here is also great. It's the same premise, but it works because it's just a straight-up interesting story. And it's good no matter how many times you tell it. And it also works really well in this new setting. One interesting thought I got from watching both of these films back to back was, in America, The Wild West era with cowboys and outlaws is perhaps the country's most interesting time period, and it makes for the best period piece film. Whereas in Japan, the samurai era is definitely the most interesting time period, and this film brings the best of both worlds together. It's for once a true samurai western. You always hear that term, but it's never exactly that. But finally we get it, and cowboys and samurai are awesome. I feel like it's a bit unfair for this film because no matter what, it's gonna get compared to the original, and yes, the original is a better film, but the original is also one of the greatest films ever made. I feel like if the original never existed, this film would get a lot more praise than it does. If you just look at this film without comparing both of them, I'll say it's definitely one of the best samurai films out there. It's well made, well directed, acted well, and it's engaging. It does look more like a cowboy film than a samurai, but technically real life samurai also use guns, so I'll say it still counts as a full-on samurai film. The original samurai films are what spawned the famous westerns. They were often remade into some of the most famous westerns of all time. Here we actually get the reverse, and it works well. The best comparison I can make to this film is the difference between Yojimbo and A Fistful of Dollars. Yes, Yojimbo is better, but A Fistful of Dollars is also really good, and they both had the same basic premise with similar scenes, yet they were different culturally, and the culture aspect separates them into two separate films. No one ever tells you to skip Yojimbo and just watch A Fistful of Dollars. You want to watch both of them, and that's the same here. So should you watch the original Unforgiven or the Japanese remake? I say watch both. They are both excellent films and a great depiction in how two different countries could seem like two different worlds. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to join my Discord where we discuss the next video and a whole bunch of other topics that we like. Thank you.